Retired but not tired. That would be me. I'm Jill Russell, and I am retired but not tired, and I still have several jobs and am open for more offers. Yes, because I'm not tired. Had an experience today. This is a little bit different. It's not about me, like most of them are, but I'm making some nachos for myself tonight. And this won't leave my mind. I keep thinking about it. This afternoon, I was still, in the county, not in my town. The town's very small, but still in the county. Had several errands to run, and there was one business establishment where I was going in, and one of the first things on my list I had was a very tiny little round battery that goes in a watch. My daddy had an easy reader, that's what I called it, Timex watch, of course, over 30 something years ago. And I wanted one like he had. So he bought one for me. At Walmart, Kmart, somewhere. I think it cost $24. And I had it put away for a while. And I have a lot of watches, cheap watches, inexpensive watches, very inexpensive, and wear them. I thought, well, I want to wear that one. Of course, the battery was run down after being packed away probably 25 years or more. And so I needed a new battery. So that was on my list. And I got there, and the uh, exhibit for the batteries. So it was a long display. And getting some Gruyere cheese here. And then it's like, oh dear, I think I'm having a blood pressure drop. Occasionally have it, especially when I turn upside down looking in the bottom of a display rack of tiny packaged batteries. So then there was this person there that um, was in training, working there in training, and so going to help me. And I said, well, no, wait just a minute. I've had a blood sugar or a blood pressure a drop or something right now. Just a minute. And he put his hands on my shoulders. I was wearing my coat, the one I call my Sherlock Holmes coat that I got in New Orleans um, a long time ago. Everything was a long time ago. Yeah, I'm got a long history of where I've been and what I've done. And of course, it straightened out. And part of that, with my education and experience, is an energy exchange. And usually, if somebody, like if there's a car wreck or something, and you're not going to stop and say, "Oh, hey, wait, I know how to fix everybody." Um, Somebody going into shock, even if somebody's seen something that's shocking, putting the fingertips to fingertips for someone else. It's not if I'm doing that to someone going into, that's really excited, anxiety or something. It's not going to give me their anxiety, but it's going to be an energy exchange to make everything calmer and everyone calmer. So, and I turned around then and I said, "Oh, are you in kinesiology?" And he said, "No." I said, "Oh, okay." Because with what you did, that's just what I thought. And no, and he didn't know what that was. So we had long sessions throughout this business established because there were a couple of different areas that I needed to go to, and it wasn't a discount store, it wasn't a big discount store. I wanted to let you know that right away. Uh, So everything, he was wanting to replace the battery. When I finally found it, the one that I wanted, because I had the back of it already open to get the old battery out to find the new number for the new battery, replacement battery. And he was insisting on doing that. So that's what we did. So I had to pay for that at the front instead of with the rest of my things where I was going in this business establishment. And he replaced the battery. So then I go and I get a few more things, and he insists on getting those and putting them in, and and I have a certain way that I put these 3 items in. I get them about every 2 weeks or something. I don't know, maybe every month, and once a month, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Um, it's just easier when they're checking. They can just scan it from the basket if it's in the top part. Well, he's getting them out of that and lining them up in the basket. And then I'm going, oh my goodness, okay. And so we had conversations, and we were still having conversations. And then I said, "Are you?" I said, "We're." I said, "This is the year of the horse." So, well, we'll start there. Start there because he wouldn't he wouldn't leave me. And well, I did not know that. I was not aware of that. And I said, yes, it's in the Lunar New Year. It's the year of the horse. In case anybody mentions it or something, now. Um, and I said, you're sensitive. Well, other people were standing, or in line or around and everything, and they were standing and staring and thinking that I did not know what I was doing and I didn't know what I was saying. Well, I do know what I was doing. I do know what I was saying because I have been trained as an educator for adult learners. And this fellow was barely adult and very enthusiastic about his job and working there. And at one point, I told him in front of someone else who works there, because people were, well, what is sensitive? And I said, sensitive is that you pick up on other people faster than others do. And people are standing and thinking, oh my gosh, she doesn't even know what she's doing. It's like, yes, I do. When the training that I've had, it was called Master Educator, and it's for educating in trade school. And I told him at one point, I said, you need to talk with your counselor or somebody and see if you would be a good candidate for massage school. Uh, oh, yeah, well, why's that? So talked about that because you touch people. Well, we were in a store where he was going through a type of training or business establishment, actually. And if he was going to touch anybody, touching me, that was the right person, because laying your hands on someone could get one in a lot of trouble, and putting hands on a stranger or something, and insisting on pushing the cart, insisting on taking the watch and putting the battery in, and all of the different things that they were pretty insistent upon it, and I couldn't convince him otherwise. Um, there's a lot more to that. When I was going through the Master Educator training course for educators, for instructors, um, part of it was that there's, we used to say there's 3 or 4 types of learners: kinesthetic, visual, touching, see or hear. And then they added a 4th one. Well, now they've got what I studied when I was taking that course was 9 different types of learners, and actually 11, but we did not go into detail on all of them, just the 9, because that was really going to be more applicable. So I did know what I was doing, and I knew what was going on, excuse me, with them a little bit, not from their point of view, but from an instructor's point of view. Um, and going again, if he's going to touch somebody, I was the right person because I did understand what was going on. So this whole segment on retired but not tired is really more about, let's be aware of our fellow humans around us. Um, we don't know who's going through what kind of training or who's going through anything. And yes, putting your hands on a stranger or having a stranger come up behind you and putting their hands on them is a strange thing from a stranger. Um, so I went back in then to tell the manager. We talked saber-toothed tigers. We talked shark's teeth. We talked sensitives. We talked lunar New Year. Watch batteries. Yes, he's very good at putting things together. Yes, he's very good because he took the watch from me and insisted on setting the time and wanted to look at my phone just to verify that I was being correct, that it was actually 4:20 and not 4:19 and not 4:21 because he was intent on setting that. The fellow that checked me out for the battery, then I was just telling them because he's with an employee with a name tag. It didn't really know what to say or do. And he was in a position where he really couldn't say or do much of anything anyway. So I was just telling them, I said, do you know what a tinkerer is? And no, a tinker. No, a tinkerer. I said, a tinkerer is someone who repairs or builds watches and clocks. And you will hear people saying they had to, if there was some lip balm there by the counter. And I said, and I was kind of, fiddling through that. And I said, you'll hear people say, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just tinkering. You know, that's where it came from, but they're not building a watch. So that was part of the conversation. Then I noticed when I was getting my three items out of the the truck after I got home to put them in my little cart and put them up there all the same. They were all arranged exactly the same. But what I had done was after I left there, then I got my ticket out and called and asked to speak to the certain lady that was there, the manager, um, because I did want to tell her about it. They may not have noticed that or seen that because, if somebody is going through a training and they're going through a specialized kind of training through another organization, helpful organization, they're not going to know what to say and what to do. And a case like it was today. So this is all about, let's be patient. Let's be aware. There are people with all kinds of situations that are in all kinds of different training, and maybe their mind and the amygdala is the incoming information is going in concentric circles, and they're already on the boat and gone. We haven't even arrived at the dock or the pier or the dock or the marina yet. Um, so if you're in a situation with something like this, with a very helpful person that is going through a training, um, I suggest that you speak with a manager so that you can have it explained to you, even though you think you know. Um, and it can be explained to them not to um, touch strangers. And so that's what I had to say about that. On my nachos, I'm putting some Philadelphia cream cheese on part of them. And then I'm using Colby Jack, Gruyere. And then this time, I'm not going to use the Monterey Jack, or not going to put jalapenos on it. I'm going to use the Kahula Coca-Cola. This is what I'm just going to put on. And then I put these in the toaster oven. But that's my retired but not tired story, because it was long, drawn out, arduous. Turning the toaster oven on. Processed. It can happen with things that it's time for me to pick up, and buying what I needed to buy and checking out. And uh, so anyway, I did call and talk to her, and she explained. And I said, "Oh, well, it was obvious to me. I recognized uh, the whole situation immediately." But I said, "There are people who won't, and it's not my place to come and tell you how to run the business. Um, but somebody could fight back." And it's happened. We hear about things on the news, and it's like, oh, well, why did they do that? Um, it's from the people who don't know and don't understand that there are all kinds of people in the world, and if we're scared of them, you need to tell someone and get away. If we're not scared of them, then do the best you can. Um, and if you have someone in your family going through a training like that, make sure that you talk to their mentor, their counselor, their trainer, because in this situation, I really think that he needed to be in some other type of uh, on the job training. Horseradish cheddar. I don't think I had chopped any of that up a while ago. Really good too on everything. So I'm gonna add some of this to a few of the nachos here. So if you are going through some training that's a little bit different, um, there are laws and rules that really need to be followed to respect other people. Not just going in the toaster oven. And they will soon be ready to eat. Thank you for joining me on this video. I would appreciate it for thumbs up. And if you would subscribe, I don't know what we're going to talk about on here. If you would like to join me and be a guest uh, on this platform, then by all means, let me know. I've got several YouTube channels. This is the one that I'm really most enthused with now, because it's, I'm not selling anything. I'm just letting people know that because I'm a certain age, that I'm not ready to be put out to pasture. Um, and then there are certain things like what I call this tonight human rights story. Um, Dignity. Everybody deserves some dignity, and people who want to work. And he would keep asking me questions, to reassure I can put a watch together. I can put the battery in real well, can't I? Yeah, yes, you can. Yes, you can push the shopping cart real well and not hit people, and speaking to people along the way, and welcoming them into the business. And can he help them? And everybody was saying no, and I was turn in saying, "Oh, I wish you would." He needs somebody else and not just hanging out with me till I finally uh, check out of the store. I'm not checking out, y'all. Uh, but please like the video. There's no obligation. Just like the video. If you have a comment, make a comment. And subscribing, it's free. It's not costing you a thing, but it will help me to get more attention on my site, on my channel, and my site, it's channel, and to help me and to help others. You know, bye bye, you 27-year-old influencers. We've got retirees coming in.